Hey Tony, I've evaluated your blood work. Let's get right into it here. This is going to be the summary of the analysis after evaluating your labs. I want you to understand exactly what to do in summary here. Okay, so first and foremost, you have an early family history of coronary artery disease. Okay, so we got to really focus on the heart, number one. You have a poor lipid panel. Okay, so you've had LDLs that have been too high, and you've had HDLs that have been too low. In addition to that, you have an abnormal ECG. Now, those three pieces lead us to the point that you need to go further evaluate how much plaque do you have in your arteries. If indeed you have any plaque, do you have plaque in the artery? So if you have no plaque in the artery, that's great. You could take a breather and we could address these things in a different fashion. We could really address, you'll see my plan in the end. We could be less aggressive. If you have plaque in the artery, and we could determine this very cheap, effective CT scan, low dose radiation called a coronary artery calcium score. I want you to get that done, and it's not no IV contrast dye, so it's not going to hurt your kidneys. And with that, we can see, starting off, do you have plaque in the artery? Next piece is, because the abnormal ECG, you got to get the echocardiogram. We have to see, at this point of your age, with everything you're about, do you have an enlargement of your left ventricle? And is your heart functioning optimally already with diastolic function, not to mention systolic function? Okay, so that's the heart, please. Next piece is the liver enzymes. Your liver enzymes aren't that bad, so nothing to worry about liver enzymes. You don't have anything wrong that I see. You don't do toxic levels of oral steroids. The SARMs you're doing, at least when I'm looking in the labs that I'm seeing, it's obviously not affecting liver enzymes. Your liver enzymes are slightly elevated in the out of the normal range. That could be from muscle spillover, okay, from just training really hard, because when you train hard, we classically see, when the doctors don't understand, we see the enzymes, the AST and the LT, elevated because in the skeletal muscle are these enzymes. So the lab's picking it up coming out of the muscle, not the liver. So it's kind of it's actually a red herring. So your liver's fine, but you should continue to monitor that. And your bilirubin and your alk-phos levels, as I mentioned, those are fine. So your liver's fine. Next one, really important. You've been on steroids for obviously quite some time. I've seen more lab tests with your testosterone being super low than high or normal. So you're going to have a condition called anabolic steroid-induced hypogonadism, almost guaranteed. And that's going to be for all men after a certain point of no return using anabolic agents, despite using post-cycle therapy. Again, this is why I'm involved with some of the research in that now, and my book is coming out, and that's what I'm really focusing on, anabolic steroid-induced hypogonadism. So with that, your quality of life is going to be key. You'd want to sooner or later stay on just levels of TRT, and I think you're even doing that now, but I know you're supplementing with the SARMs and the growth factors. At a certain point, you just want to live on testosterone replacement doses for your quality of life. So, and that's up to you. So, fertility is going to be a big piece. So, men of your age want to have children. If you're even on a little bit of just testosterone, not to mention steroids, you're going to be shooting blanks. You're infertile. So, it's amazing that young men from the age of 20s up to 40s, not putting guys down after 40, but young is up to about 40s. If you're having children in your mid 40s or later, you certainly can. But steroid users for 20, 30 years of steroid use, they're going to have a significantly tough time. I deal with this often. So we use medicines, HCG and Clomid and so on and so forth. So doing these drugs, using HCG while you're on steroids or testosterone, there's data for that, as you know. But it's not strong data, and I do tell patients regularly that I don't know if taking HCG and testosterone, not to mention steroids, concomitantly at the same time is going to end up working for them as far as maintaining fertility, because we know we could shut that down. You could shut down and down-regulate those receptors in the testicle. So that's still kind of something that's the jury's out on. But I would say if you want to be fertile, when you want children, you certainly come off testosterone, and we just use high doses of HCG. Works great. For someone like you, have to go up to about 2,000, 2,500 IM, HCG IM 2 or 3 times a week, and that usually works out well. The next thing is what you have to monitor. So after getting this done, you want to ongoingly monitor several times a year your CBC, your comprehensive metabolic panel, of course, your liver, your kidney that's doing well today, and your PSA probably once a year. So Tony, with all this being said, the plan for you goes back to your heart again. So what you want to do is, after you get these tests, we're going to want to focus on heart disease prevention. Two aspects of heart disease prevention that I do. So you're going to want to slow the development of plaque, if you have any, in your coronary artery, and you're going to want to slow the development of your heart enlarging. Okay. So to do this, again, it's man per man, but I like to start from natural ways, which is, stop slowing down and not using some of these agents that you have to kind of look at, kind of like a Chinese menu, like let's not use this, let's not use that, let's not use that. And again, stay on TRT only, and we can discuss that. But in the future, it would be imperative for you to definitely consider a statin. And again, people have the wrong impression of statins. These drugs slow the progression of plaque in the coronary artery. They're very effective. It's rare they have side effects. I live on a quite high dose of a statin, and I feel great. And I've been on it for over 10 years. You could find with a physician a statin and a dose and a regimen. Sometimes we don't do it every day. We do it every other day. Okay, so we have all this. But I'm telling you, with your LDL number that I've seen, with your family history, you're going to have to consider that if you want to live, like you said, like me, to 110. Next piece is going to be, again, how's your blood pressure? Is your heart enlarged? There are other drugs like small doses of nitric oxide doning beta blockers that can be used at night. There's teeny doses of ACE inhibitors that can be used. Okay, these are brilliant methodologies to prevent your heart from enlarging, from the plaque to progressing. So these are things I want you to think about. Again, for the other aspects in drugs that are more controversial, which would be the growth hormone, the IGF, and not to mention insulin. So beyond that, looking at the quality of life issues, you're going to want to stay on just a nice dose of about 100 milligrams or so every 3 to 5 days of intramuscular ester of testosterone. That's just what men live on, and just stay on that. As far as using the other agents, that's controversial, and you're going to have to discuss that with your family and your physician. Hey Tony, I appreciate this opportunity to look at your blood work and some of your medical studies. I really hope this provides great education, not just for you, but for millions of people around the world that are using steroids. And I definitely look forward to doing more projects together. Stay strong and stay healthy. Dr. Thomas O'Connor here. I'm glad you made it to the end of the video. If you liked it, hit the like button and please subscribe to our channel. And I look forward to bringing you more cool and interesting videos just like this in the future. Stay strong and healthy.